this car ready. You know, we started in October, and when Byron and Brian jumped on board, you know, it was something brand new for them, jumping into a pro car like this, and they've been working really, really hard. I'm really, really impressed by the performance that they've shown, and they're definitely ready now, but it's been a lot of hard work. I feel like the car is really, really good, and I think that we're going to have a good race. Listen, we're not going to be the quickest out there, okay? But this race is not won by going the fastest, okay? It's just team preparation. The car is prepared very well, and just keeping this car out of trouble, you know, and that's what us drivers are supposed to do. And we'll be there right there at the end with a lot of luck, but we will be there, so.
Okay, who wants to ask the first question? Throw your hand up. And we'll, oh, you guys got all the answers already? Right over here.
Hey, how's it going? Jeremy from Seattle. So what's the order you guys are going to be driving in?
What's the driver order? We have one yet?
We have one. I get to start. Nobody really wants to start when everything's all there, but I get to start, which I'm looking forward to. I'm going to do the first stint, and then Brian will get in and do what he does so very well. Byron will take over after that, and then Carlos, and then Elliot. So that's going to be our lineup and our order, and we're looking forward to it.
Awesome.
So Elliot, you're no stranger to this place and this kind of racing either, but what about running in the dark? More difficult than in the daylight? Start your engine.
Actually, it didn't used to be hard. It's getting harder every year to drive in the dark.
I know the feeling.
But no, this place is actually lit so well. You can race a car around here without headlights. The corners are really good. The main thing you actually need in our car, the headlights for, is to let the folks in front of you know you're there. Because if you don't have headlights in their rear view mirrors, they don't know, and they'll just chop across you. So that's what you really need it for the most, because the lights they put in here at Daytona are spectacular. And you really and truly can drive here with no headlights at all.
Next question. Yes, ma'am.
I have Lisa from West Palm Beach, Florida. How long is your stint?
How long each stint? Of course, that can vary.
Yeah, typically the car is going to go about 50 minutes on a tank of fuel. If we run a little more conservatively, it may go a couple of laps more than that, and racing faster at the beginning, it may be a lap or two shorter. But roughly about 50 minutes is what that's the fuel on board.
Now, sometimes you'll run a double stint, right? So that can stretch it out for the driver anyway. Another question? Yes?
I have a question from Brian. I'm Andy from Daytona Beach. What's the bigger rush, getting out on that stage in front of 1,000 million screaming fans, or getting in that car at 200 plus?
1,000 million, that's a lot of people. Well, you know, we're pretty big.
Thanks, me darling. You know, some people have asked us that, and it's so similar, it's quite frightening. You know, you have a great crew behind you. You know, when I'm at the side of the stage and say there's 100,000 out there, you know, you're getting yourself ready, the music's starting, you know, you're getting ready to go on, and there's always a couple of crew guys here going, come on, Brian, you just get up there, you know. It doesn't matter how many times you do it, you still need that little friendly pat on the back. And coming into this level of motor racing, being surrounded by these great guys who have been, you know, and the crew have just been saying, go on, Brian, just race your race, don't try to be a Superman. Because some of these guys are just naturally gifted fast drivers. I've got to work harder when I'm trying to do it. And it's the same thing, you know, when the flag drops, the BS stops, you know, you're not there just for the show, and you've got to do your job. And it's very similar, and it's quite scary, the similarity, you know. And I feel it today. It's like I'm going to do a big gig in Wembley or Giant Stadium or something. You've got that little thing building up, the excitement's building up, but you know you've got a great team behind you, and it just makes it nice and easy, you know.
Thank you.
You know, I don't know who will answer this question, but this is a big field. This is going to be a busy racetrack.
Well, I tell you, we thought about that, and everyone's talked about the 50th anniversary, and of course this has been a dream for us because we are historic. Brian and I have been racing historically, and we've had fast cars, but the technology was not quite like this, and so now we have a lot of traffic, but we've got really good brakes. And I think the scariest part for us has been yesterday trying to practice switching drivers. I'm so bruised up today I can hardly walk. And then the radio, everyone was so talking about, that's my fear is the radio. I can't understand what they're trying to tell me as you're going around the bank and they're like, Carlos is like, we've never had a radio failure. And I said, every time I get in the car, the radio fails. I'm going around the bank, and I don't know how fast my eyes are so bad I can't see it.
It's getting better.
They're telling me to pit, and I thought they were saying, do you need to pee? I always need to pee.
Well, you're going to start, so it's going to be business for you. Strategy those first couple of laps?
Yeah, you know, this is a bigger field than what we've seen in a long time, and for those of us that have had the opportunity to do this race a lot over the years, it's great, because you love to see a big field at Daytona, because this is a dream realized for a lot of people in motorsports. Big field at the start, conservative. You know, you want to qualify well, you want to run a conservative pace. If you give up a spot or two, or you take a spot or two, an hour into it, it's not going to matter. So, you know, we got a good conservative plan. Everybody here is on the same page. We're going to go out there, we're going to make the laps, stay out of trouble, come in for gas and tires, and go back out and see you on Sunday afternoon. That's our plan.
All right. Another question? Over here, yes.
Kevin from Jacksonville. Besides the ACT rolling, do you guys think there's an advantage running the older body work for a 24-hour race?
You will answer
Well, we
that?
older guys. It's kind of more comfortable, you know, like an old shoe.
Are you saying older body work? Are you talking about the drivers or the car?
It's the only body work we still have.
But said the new one was porpoising.
I say if he's got something he wants to say, he just needs to say it.
The short answer is there's a benefit to the new Gen 3 cars. Obviously, those cars are very fast. The technology is state-of-the-art. Those cars have an advantage in that we've seen so far in that they're fast. And if there's an advantage to running an older car, and we have one of the first generation Raleighs, which was a great car when it came out, and it's still a great car. It's tried and true. We know, we know the endurance of that car, and our success will be about the endurance of the car and the team rather than the sheer speed. So the new cars have that advantage. We'll see after 24 hours, what their track record is at that point. But as far as our body work goes, it's big, but it's solid.
And just to back up what he's saying is, with the first generation body work, it's proven. There's no question about it. Now they're running the new generation body work. And, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday. I think there might be issues with it, but we'll find out. So I think we're in a good spot with our body work.
Question? No? Yes, sir.
Carlos, how do you deal with the temperature change? 80 when we start today and down in the 40s tonight. How much work does that chase you through?
Question is about how much transition is it, or how do you to handle the temperature change starting when it's hot and then getting into the cool of the evening and morning?
Well, in certain cars, the temperature will reach as high as 150 degrees, depending on how hot it is outside. It is cooler. It's not going to be that bad. Now, once we roll into nighttime, it's not going to be a problem. In fact, I think we're going to be doing some double stints between myself, Jim Pace, and EFR. And I feel fine at night. I could sit there and drive there, all night without any problems. Once it starts rolling back into the daytime, that'll be questionable, and we'll see what we're able to handle. So.
All right, you had a question back here?
Yeah, where did you qualify?
We qualified at P11, I believe. I haven't seen the sheet, but I heard P11 on the radio.
Okay.
How many prototypes are there?
14?
14, I believe.
We got time for a couple more, yes. You got one?
If you use a spotter, when you do, does it change as the night goes on? It doesn't change with the dialect of the driver or what you
Question, do you use a spotter? How does it change as the race progresses? And how do you handle the different dialects of the driver?
Well, what we've done, the short answer is yes, we have a spotter. EFR has done this race. I'd have to take my shoes off to count how many times he's done this race. Carlos has done this race many, many times. This is my 15th time here. We are electing not to have a spotter. It's the first time for Brian and for Byron, and we elected for them to have a spotter. And so we've had another driver, someone that they know, someone they have a good relationship with, and that person has been up on the spotter's tower, which you can see to Miami, I think, from that tower. And he's been up there, been on the radio, advising about traffic, just sort of talking to them every so often, keeping them calm, you know, and that's an interesting conversation that goes on anyway. But so we have someone that's been working with them. There's a good relationship. They know that dialogue. They know the right words to say, so you don't confuse, you know, Pitt for anything else.
Yeah.